A Calgary man has been found guilty of taking part in terrorist activities overseas. A judge ruled late this afternoon that Jamal Borhat traveled to Syria to fight with the Islamic State. As Terry Fikowski reports, crime experts say this case is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to a nationwide challenge of radicalization.
Jamal Borhat traveled to Syria to fight with ISIS for 11 months between 2013 and 2014, and on Monday, more than a decade later, was found guilty on 3 counts of participating in terrorist activities. The conviction comes 5 years after the now 35-year-old was charged after a lengthy and complicated international investigation.
It's been a long process, a lot of work done by everybody, so just having a conclusion, or most of a conclusion, is definitely a good spot to be.
Justice Carino Dario says evidence shows Borhat took part in training, acts of violence, and leadership duties with a shared goal of creating an Islamic State. He was prepared to kill and die for his beliefs, she said in her decision. He used firearms with the intention to kill anyone who was non-Muslim. In 2022, his co-accused and cousin, Hussein Borhat, pled guilty in a separate trial and was sentenced to 12 years in prison.
The barbarity of the acts they've engaged in is incredibly troubling. So the fact that they went over with the intent to in essence, fight democracies like Canada is quite concerning.
For this criminologist, the cases reflect Canada's struggles to address foreign fighter recruitment and radicalization. According to the RCMP, the number of terrorism-related charges in Canada jumped 488% in 2024.
Unfortunately, when you neglect border security, when you neglect national security, when you under-resource your federal law enforcement and security services, this is what happens.
Court heard Borhat returned to Canada after being imprisoned in Syria for stealing medication. He's been out on bail for the past 5 years, but on Monday was taken into custody.
To say that the family and Mr. Borhat are anything but devastated by this ruling would be an understatement.
And Terry joins us from the courthouse tonight. So Terry, what is Borhat facing in terms of a sentence?
Tara, Borhat could face a heavy sentence. Participating in a terrorist activity carries a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison, but there is the possibility that could be served consecutively, adding up to as much as 30 years. Now, arguments for sentencing will return in January, on January 16th, for the Crown and defense. Tara, Borhat remained relatively calm in his demeanor as the verdict was reached today and said in court. He had a number of family members there as well in attendance. Back to you.
Okay, Terry, thank you.